So please enjoy the video.
When we are children, our parents tell us not to talk about shit. This is a really serious problem. What you don't talk about, you cannot improve. A lot of people call me Mr. Toilet. I'm really proud when I hear that because it gives an identity to the work that I do. 40% of the world population still do not have access to a simple toilet.
Shit is like fire. If you manage properly, the fire can cook your meal. If you don't manage it, it burns down your house. If you manage shit, it becomes a fertilizer. If you don't manage it, it kills you.
About 90% of all the surface water in India are contaminated by feces. 1.5 million children under 5 a year in the world die unnecessarily. You have to have clean water, you have to have safe sanitation. A rich man staying next to a slum. The flies doesn't know a poor man from a rich man. So the rich man is probably eating the shit of the poor man. You better help them get toilets or you will eat their shit. Think about it. We are hosting the World Toilet Summit. This has been an international event every year since 2001. The people say, why should I use a toilet? It's fresh air outside. I can chit-chat with my friends while I'm squatting there. A big breakthrough will happen when we look at the poor as if they are customers. When we have to sell them products that are very beautiful and sexy. Once this becomes object of desire, if you don't have, you're not keeping up with the Jonases. We want toilets to become a status symbol for the poor so that they feel proud to own a toilet. Just like a Louis Vuitton handbag. We are actually breaking the taboo on sanitation in the global news. World Toilet Day is 19 November every year. We have the big squad. We are protesting the plight of the 2.5 billion people that still do not have access to a toilet. The fact is, I think about toilet every moment. My life is only 80 years. I'm 52. If I'm going to spend 28 years consuming ostentatiously just to have a diamond watch that I can't read the time because it's too sparkling, it makes no sense. Doing social work that is creating some impact, I think it's better to die like that. I think we can see the day that everybody on planet Earth will have access to clean toilets any day, anytime. Okay, so this film is very interesting. This film last week premiered in Sundance Film Festival in Salt Lake City in Utah, in the USA. And I was also very surprised because normally, you know, you gotta go to the red carpet when this kind of film festival happened. But I was in Riyadh giving a talk about shit in the King Abdullah's meeting, the Global Competitiveness Forum. So why do I take this type of subject and why do I volunteer? Today is talking about volunteerism. And why is it that I was making money, I was running businesses, I never got a chance to be a graduate like you guys. It was so nice, studying in the university. My school marks were so poor that I can't get in. So I started to be a salesman at 22, and then at 24 I started a business, importing roofing tiles from France and selling to Singapore. Then we import so much that the French people said might as well set up a factory here. So we built factories in Malaysia, very big factory, still existing in Kuala. And then I went into bricks manufacturing, to partition manufacturing, we get joint venture all around the world. Built real estate development here, and eventually also started the Australian International School, which you see in Lorong Chuan. It's a very, very big school. So all the time I do business. I was feeling clever, I make money. But actually I'm not clever. Okay? All the things I've done, I never did it myself. I always partner very clever people. I partner people who are so smart, but who like to partner me. So what is my value add in this partnership is that I'm a good salesman. So whatever they produce, I'm going to sell for them. So in this partnership, I can do any products that I don't understand. I can set a factory without knowing technology. Everything is common sense because with those partners, you can talk to them. Then at the age of 40, I have 16 businesses because being addicted to setting up businesses, I set up one every year. So by the time 16 years, I have 16 businesses, and most of them are making good money. Then the recession came, and I cannot create the number 17 business. So I start creating NGOs. And I started Restroom Association, and it was quite fun because at that time Goh Chok Tong says we should measure our social graciousness against public toilet cleanliness. So he was trying to insult us. No, that's not true, right? Because the toilet is not just the user's fault, but it's also NEA's avoidance of work, right? And it's also the design was wrong. The water is here, the soap is over there, the hand dryer is behind you. So you move around and flick your hand on the floor, everything is wet. And the toilet cleaners were not trained and paid so little, $600 salary, who can survive? So all these are wrong. So I went out there to start a Restroom Association and call it RA. Just a movie, you know. Taboo subject, you call it RA. And the media love it very much. Then I start to realize that, hey, actually social is more fun than running businesses. So I begin to close down businesses, sell businesses, and create more NGOs. So after Restroom Association was successful, or at least quite popular here, I found that there are 15 toilet associations around the world, like me, but no headquarters. So as a Singaporean, always middleman, right? So I say, so where's the headquarters? And they say, we have none. So I said, how about I start? And they say, if you start, and it's free, and you do all the work, we'll follow you. So that's volunteerism, right? So I started the World Toilet Organization because I thought the subject is very disgusting. So the only way to turn a completely disgusting subject into a media darling is to make it funny. So when I call it World Toilet Organization, the acronym becomes WTO. So the World Trade Organization, I was thinking, can't go wrong. If they sue me, the news will cover it even more. So even more successful. But they didn't sue me. So in any case, people at first laugh at us. Yeah? So you remember Gandhi's famous quotation is, first they ignore you, which is most of the time the government is ignoring us. Yeah? So first they ignore you, then they laugh at you. You get some irritate them a little bit, then they laugh at you. Then they fight you, then you win. So that is a very wisdom from them. And so the first thing is to get them to laugh at you. And they did, because it was so funny, right? World Toilet Organization, which a normal person will call his organization toilet. Right? And because it is very sticky, the image, the brand is that once you hear this word, this name, you cannot forget. For the rest of your life, you cannot forget. Somebody talk about toilet. Hey, there's one guy in Singapore. So when we do this kind of branding, it becomes very powerful. So after that, we start with 15 chapter and we host World Toilet Summit here. So here I want to teach you how to start a world body for free and how to have a World Toilet Summit or any international convention that you want to organize. I said start now conference. You want to do it for free. I think today is for free, right? if you want to do it for free, always think of free, okay? Don't pay. Pay very hard to fundraise. How to do it for free. So you want to do it for free, we go to the exhibition professional conference organizer and then tell him, if you host a conference called World Toilet Summit for free for me, I can sell exhibition space for you. And when you earn the money from the sales of exhibition booth, then it all evens out. After all, it's all mathematics. So he says, okay, if you go and sell, then I'll do it for you. So remember, I'm a good salesman, right? I went to sell the booth, and then we got first World Toilet Summit. But I don't like to work this every year. I'm very lazy. So I got the media in, and then they says, the first World Toilet Summit, World Toilet Organization. And we named that day World Toilet Day also. So the news became very large. I was also quite surprised. I was hoping some Straits Times and all those small ones, right? And then we got CNN, BBC, and all these Associated Press. The wire agencies, they went and resell the news so large that everybody in the audience start to get message from back home. No, Daddy, we saw you on TV. So the daddy who is a mayor or who is a government official start to put up the hand to say, can we host the next World Toilet Summit? So that means from that day onwards, for the rest of my life, I will get free conferences hosted by other people. So our annual conference has now been hosted 14 times by different countries, although we are only 12 years old. So Korea, mayor of city of Suwon, he hosted the next year. Why does he want to host? He had to make a very good show, no? Because he's a mayor and he took the hosting rights from us, free of charge. He paid about $500,000 to host the event. And then he set the benchmark for everybody. So every year is around $500,000. The cheapest about $300,000 to host an event. And they all do it very well. And I always find those people who have big ego problem to host it. So, and big pockets. So he went to Moscow, Beijing. Last year was Hainan with George Yeo and the governor of Hainan opening it. In India, it was the president of India. In Macau, it was Crown Prince of Holland. So the profile keeps on going up, and everything is free. So what you need to know is that you can get a lot of things for free, but you have to leverage. So you get the next big brand and the next big brand, and you keep leveraging out. So eventually, President Clinton came to support and take a photograph, which then legitimized a lot of work. So, remember on the internet there was one guy who wanted to trade a safety pin for a house. I think eventually he got a house. Right? So he traded a safety pin for a pencil for a ballpoint pen, a ballpoint pen for a fountain pen, and eventually he got a car, and then he got a house. So try to leverage up, and you can get a lot of stuff like that. So all these people who are paying and coming, they are volunteers because they volunteer and get for free. Then after that, because the publicity is so good, the politicians also join in because at first they don't want to take picture next to toilet, very bad for their image. But now the media keep talking about it, they volunteer to take picture next to toilet and promote toilet. So the media can be very, very powerful friend, provided you can design brands that are very strong. So like start now, very action orientated, very, very good, powerful branding. So then think about why a person should stop making money and to volunteer. When I make some money, I start to think, a person's life is 80, you saw in the film, person life is 80, I was 40. 80 years is 29,200 days. 40 is only 19,600 days, right? So it's just, no, 14,600 days. So it's already very few days to live, you know. And right now, at this moment, I have only 9,100 in about 50 days, you know. So very short, no? So tomorrow, 49 days, no? So yeah, shorter. So the only thing I can promise you is that everybody here, you're all going to die, no? So if you're going to die, and you still waste your time playing computer game, it's not worth it, right? So it is better to use those time to contribute back to something meaningful. So a lot of people spend, before you have money, you have to sell your time for money. So you work for somebody means you sell their time for money. But you also need to get meaning. Of course, you can get meaning from your work also. If you work for me, very meaningful. Salary very low, so sometimes free. So the thing is that you can also at the same time volunteer because you want to feel good. And when you are exchanging the minutes in volunteerism for a meaningful thing, then that thing that you do is more valuable than the time that you give. Then it's worth it. If the time that you give is you're selling time for money, and the money is worth less than the time, the time is the most precious thing. It's the thing you cannot extend, cannot buy, and when time is gone, then life is over. So you have to always sell your time for something of higher value than your time. How you're going to decide it is up to you. You could be underwater photography is worth it. Let's go ahead, do meaningful things. If helping some marginalized people is meaningful, it's worth more than your time. But it's very unlikely that money is worth more than time. Thank you very much.